Welcome back, everybody. Derrick, your East Oakland advocate. Well, today I want to talk about a really sad subject, the Half Moon Bay massacre out at the mushroom farm. And this is something that touches very close to me and my counterterrorism work that I've done in the past. And as a lot of you know, I was involved in a very large drug bust right here in the Bay Area. And I provided all the inside information for law enforcement. And one of the common factors that we see is how the farm worker is used as a slave. I literally, in my time in that undercover operation, I saw human trafficking. Literally, there was human trafficking by this large syndicate that was running this operation. And they would fly people in through San Francisco, Oakland, or San Jose as relatives and visiting. And then they would either go back to where they were from. In this case, many of these folks were from Taiwan. And so they were human trafficking people from Taiwan in this particular operation. But there were Hispanic folks, and there were other Asian nationalities. I don't recognize some of the dialects that were spoken, but what we have seen is one of the hidden dark sides of an industry that is heavily regulated, but then again, not regulated. And the reason why I say not regulated is because the city of Oakland actually has a division dedicated to cannabis. But yet when I spoke with that person who was in charge and another person of that department, they literally don't do anything. They do inspections, but then as far as the reports they file, it's pretty, let's say, questionable, and they don't enforce any Oakland laws. And so that's why Oakland has a very big problem, because here in Oakland, especially here in East Oakland, there are a lot of cannabis operations, some of them legal, but a majority not legal. And so we need to look at some of these illegal operations, kind of like what is probably going to end up coming out in Half Moon Bay, because now they're going to be trying to find who those owners are. Why were you billing an employee $100 for that damage that actually triggered him into his murderous rampage? But one of the common things that we see, if you've been watching the reports showing the living conditions, the deplorable living conditions that these farm workers are subject to. And this is not new. This is a very common situation all throughout the Central Valley, all throughout the illegal operations here in the Bay Area. And it is on par with our homeless. Our homeless folks live in the exact same conditions, sometimes a little worse. Some of the situations that I saw there in terms of living condition, while they had constructed some sort of structure for shelter, there's no heat, there's no cooking facilities, and the restroom facilities, I'm sure, were very deplorable too, because if the owner is that negligent in the operation of that grow business, he's going to be extremely lacking in the human resources department also. So unfortunately, a lot of folks that come here from America get duped into these situations. They have no idea what they were getting into, like several of the interviews that had mentioned. It mentioned something entirely different. We've seen operations like this on the East Coast, from New York all the way to Florida and the panhandle of Florida. So we've seen a lot of situations very similar to this, and this is not unique. And we have to get better with enforcing the laws that we already have on the books, getting people into proper housing, especially our farm workers, making sure that they have adequate shelter, cabins with heating, with water, and with sewer service. And our homeless, many of the folks like myself, we're trying to get off the street, but then social services are very slow. In fact, I was in an Alameda County meeting this week, and City of Oakland, LaTonda Simmons, and Simone Falls of City of Oakland were at that meeting. I'm going to be posting that meeting very shortly. It's about 43 minutes long, and it details a lot of things that have transpired here in Oakland, and it's important for you to know what's going on in our city of Oakland. And these things could also be implemented in other cities. So thanks for joining me today. We are praying for our farm workers, not only on the mushroom farm in Half Moon Bay, but all of our farm workers who make sure that we have fresh produce and fresh food on our tables in our grocery stores every day. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.